Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. I'm actually on time with the video for once. I'm dropping my Halloween video around 350 days early. It's not even 2022 yet. I like horror movies. I like rap music. So I'm merging the two together for this Halloween video and taking a look at rap songs that sampled iconic horror movie soundtracks. There's something about the typically dark and intense sound of horror movie themes that make them work really well with rap instrumentals and rapping over them, so let's get spooky, everybody. For pretty much each horror movie soundtrack song, I've got multiple rap songs to go through that sampled them, so let's get right into it. This is CDTVProductions, and let's pretend we're living roughly a year in the future for about 15 to 20 minutes while I drop a bunch of new songs to check out on you. Wow, this is way too big for me. This is like Michael Myers if he was obese and then lost some weight. The Halloween main theme. Is there a more recognizable piece of horror movie music out there than this? The sound of it and the fast pace is perfect, and John Carpenter, who also directed the movie, recorded and composed it himself. Not just this main theme, but every single piece of music in the movie is perfection. I also love that one that's like doo-doo. On top of that, the original Halloween is just one of my favorite horror movies of all time. You need to check it out if you haven't seen it. I love it. It could definitely be considered slow moving by today's standards, but I think it was just executed insanely well. As for the rap songs, we've got a nice range here. One of them is about murder, as you would expect. One of them is about what happens if you stick your dick in crazy, as they say. And the other is a strip club ass-popping anthem. One of those was a little unexpected, honestly. The songs in question that I've picked are Murder Inc. by Dr. Dre featuring Hittman Ms. Rock, Psycho Bitch by Tech 9, and Lolli, Pop That Body by 3-6 Mafia featuring Project Pat. Not the album version, but the original leaked version that actually contains the sample before they had to change it up a bit for legal reasons.
They call me the juice when I'm at the strip club. I put down 100 order. It'll match to a player, I'm a stud.
Lolli is a fun track, but let's be honest here, the best uses are in Murder Inc. and Psycho Bitch. Ron Swanson would be a big fan of that song. Am I right? I just started watching Parks and Rec, so maybe I'll reference it every video, so you know I watch it. Murder Inc. has such great production and eerie rapping on it from Hittman and Ms. Rock that I always forget that Dr. Dre didn't even appear vocally on that song. Scott Storch, Dr. Dre, and Melman did an amazing job with the production here, and of course they were given a great foundation for the beat with the Halloween sample, but I think they worked really well with it, with the drums that they put over it, and the more subtle instruments like the strings during the verses.
Who's the bad bitch now? You crept on, paid the piper. Who'da thought a sexy bitch could be a murderous sniper?
It's one of my favorites from the 2001 album. And the Psycho Bitch trilogy is just an iconic one in Tech 9's discography, talking about a stalker that becomes obsessed after engaging in some fornication with Technical Nynus. You can tell from this song alone that he's a big fan of horror movies, with the sample of course, and how the lyrics play out as if it's his own horror movie screenplay.
Never do sex with a psycho dumb. Anybody with a bit of pop your trunk. Run, better get a gun when a bitch come, but I know she a psycho. Killer.
Psycho Bitch 3, the final one in the trilogy that featured Hobson, actually was supposed to sample the Halloween theme as well, but by the time it was made, the rights for the theme had changed hands, and the new owner of it wanted to charge Tech 10 times as much to use it as John Carpenter charged him for the original Psycho Bitch. You can still hear the Halloween influence though on the beat that he eventually landed on for the third part. I still think it sounds great.
Wishing you never heard of her. Bitch, I'll make you murderous. She's a
I think my favorite from these three is probably Murder Inc., but go with the Tech 9 song if you want the one that has the clearest horror inspiration out of all of them. And 3-6 Mafia, if you want to bust it down in a Michael Myers mask. Okay guys, for this segment I did actually order like the Billy the Puppet mask and the gloves and the little bow tie, but it hasn't arrived in time with all my other costumes, so instead I'm wearing this Pac-Man shirt that says game over, because I'm pretty sure that's what Jigsaw says at the end of the game in the first film. Once again, another amazing iconic theme song that is just perfect to be sampled in rap music. The appearance of Hello Zepp in the newest Saw movie Spiral is also probably the only good moment of that film. Let's just get right into it. Spiral by 21 Savage is probably the best song from a god-awful movie on this list. It samples Saw 1, the best movie and the most iconic one in the franchise, that's why it's on this list, but the movie that it's on the soundtrack for is a bad movie. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it and for some reason wants to see it in the future. There's this one scene in the movie where like a cop pulls this guy over and he walks over to the car and the guy in the car flips him off. And without a mere second, a glimpse of hesitation, the cop just blasts him with the blicky. I had to try so hard to contain my laughter in the cinema when I saw this. Real subtle social commentary on this one, guys. Also, this is a real scene from the movie. Man, the first part of this segment is just turned into a rant about Spiral. CDTV movie review channel coming soon. It was a jumbled, unintentionally funny mess, but we did get this great 21 Savage song from it, so all clouds have a silver lining. 21 Savage and a super up-tempo but dark beat is an amazing combo.
I'ma let them spin like a spiral. Straight up. I don't got no love for no rival.
Oh, also, Spiral is the first film in the Saw franchise that plays a song with Gunna rapping in the film, so take that how you will. But, ladies and gentlemen, there is one song that I think uses the Hello Zepp sample better than Spiral by 21 Savage, and that is by Skepta and Trigga on the song Dark. I had never heard this before scouting for tracks for this video, but oh my god, the strings from Hello Zepp go so well with a UK rapper's voice. The lyrics aren't really horror movie themed, and the song doesn't make any direct references to horror movies, but that beat is just a perfect backdrop for the way that Skepta raps and flows.
Rolling 10 man strong, minimum 7 up like Fido, Dido. Scotland Green, collect my gyro. My whole crew wants to buy the 5-0.
The UK rapper Giggs also samples this theme in his song Saw, but I feel like I've heard Giggs rap with the exact same flow on like everything I've heard him on. It's still a hard beat, but it's always the same slow flow. Favorite here would have to be Dark. I just love how Skepta flows over that. Earlier in the video, I mentioned Halloween being one of my favorite horror movies of all time, but I've got to say, I have a Nightmare on Elm Street just above it. The original could be hands down my favorite horror movie. It's that good. It's so perfectly paced. We had Freddy Krueger being genuinely creepy before they turned him into a big old goofball later on in the series. Nancy is an extremely likable character, and it's just genuinely intense and captivating. So naturally, one of the main people that sampled the theme song is Will Smith. It's got a hefty dose of that trademark 80s cheese, but with this song, it's honestly pretty endearing.
You got the body and I got the brain.
I said, yo, Fred, I think you got me all wrong.
I generally don't like my horror sample rap songs cheesy, but the Fresh Prince makes it work. I never thought I'd draw a comparison between Tech 9 and the spitting image of Family Friendly, but this song kind of reminds me of Psycho Bitch, in the way that Will tells his own horror story here, placing himself in the narrative of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. And it ends with DJ Jazzy Jeff being viciously murdered by Freddy Krueger. It's a pretty bold move to kill off one half of your duo on the first song on your album. Moving on to another song that significantly tones down the cheese, we have 2017's F vs J intro by Fabulous and Jadakiss. Freddy vs Jason, Fabulous vs Jadakiss, it works pretty smoothly. The track as a whole was pulled off really nicely. First of all, the rapping from Fabulous and Jadakiss is on point, with numerous references throughout to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and the Friday the 13th movies. Well, there's like a reference to the Nightmare on Elm Street movies from Fabulous, but Jadakiss's verse is packed with small little references to Friday the 13th. And also, I love how they played into the idea, with Fabulous, aka Freddy in this duo, being the only one that raps over the Nightmare on Elm Street sample beat, and Jadakiss, aka Jason, raps over a different beat that samples the sample from Friday the 13th.
But I'm not gonna be the one you keep on sleeping on. This verse right here be your worst nightmare. I just laugh at you niggas, then come after you niggas, Freddy. I had it in me since a youngin'. When you hear that, you don't see me, but I'm coming. Everybody gotta die, every man, every woman.
I haven't listened to the full project that this track comes from, Friday on Elm Street, but this intro track has me intrigued, and I want to hear more of it. While A Nightmare on My Street is obviously the more iconic and classic track, I have to say, I just prefer how hard and gritty the F vs J intro is. Okay, I know I'm kind of cheating with this one. I don't really know if Us can be considered as iconic. It only came out a couple of years ago, but I absolutely love the film, and I love the song that I've picked, which samples the movie's score, which itself is a horror interpretation of I've Got 5 on It by the Loonies, Us by Crypt. Pas de deux is just an amazing piece of music to sample for a rap song, probably because it's based off of the beat for a rap song, but the more dark and intense sound it has just sucks your attention right in. And Crypt works with it perfectly, telling the story of a relationship he was in that went bad when the girl he was with started lying to him and cheated on him, and he lays out all the details on this song. The rapping is very solid, but I have to say my favorite part is that chorus, man. Whoa, did you forget about me on the low? I mean, I can't sing, but Crypt has got some pipes on him, bro, like vocally.
Oh, did you forget about me on the low? Since you're the one that I've been with, road. I was down, but I'm not enough. You were always down, I guess not for us.
It's the only song I have picked for this segment, but I just wanted to share it with people and recommend it to you if you haven't heard it already, because I've been listening to it a lot lately. It sounds great. It also has a music video that's directly inspired by the Us movie, so go check that out too. Now let's finish it up with some rap songs that sample a horror movie that I don't actually like. Whoa, horror community on Reddit, let's relax. I know The Exorcist is highly regarded now and it is considered as iconic, that's why I'm including it in this video, but personally, I've never been able to finish the movie. The stories about the making of the film are fascinating and there's a lot of details out there about it, but maybe I just need to give the film itself another chance when I really feel like checking it out. However, there are some great rap songs that sample the most iconic piece of music from the movie, Tubular Bells Part 1 by Mike Oldfield. Once again, we have one of the kings of making horror-themed music with Be Warned by Tech-9. There is no one that pulls off horror-style songs better than Tech-9 overall. He knows how to flow in a way that just makes him sound like a horror movie antagonist.
Number 9, what? Complete the heat, release the beast, we'll meet the feet. Irregular, secular, right next to y'all, watching the beat, have sex with y'all.
Before I made this, I did expect to be including Tech-9 in this video at least a couple of times, but one rapper that I did not think would be here is Freddie Gibbs, who actually sampled this theme in his song Forever and a Day, with the melody being slowed down to fit the mood of the track.
She said the way your nigga living, if I die, she wouldn't be surprised. Tears on the Bible, she pray for me. This can't be the light that she made for me.
I'm happy that I decided to check that song out for this video because Freddie lays a lot of his story and his heart out on the table for that one, and I just like the way his heavy-ass voice sounds over that type of production. I'll need to check out the Shadow of a Doubt album that this song comes from if the production is more in line with this kind of sound. And before we close it out, we have one more song that sampled this theme, Self-Conscience by Prodigy, rest in peace of course to Prodigy, featuring Nas, which samples the slowed down version of the song once again. As the song title suggests, the track follows Prodigy and Nas having conversations with their own conscience, not in like a Dr. Dre, Eminem, guilty conscience style of way, but rather Prodigy talking to his own conscience and Nas talking about what's going on in his mind.
Trust me, done, I'll never lead you astray. Take my word, niggas wanna hear how you think.
I still know me, just myself. Fear's weakness, learn from what experience teaches, beware leeches.
It's a great track with a cool little concept to it. My favorite track here probably has to be Forever and a Day by Freddie Gibbs, even though it's the one that least clearly utilizes the Tubular Bells sample and is the least horror influenced. Every track I pick for this segment is great though, so definitely check them out if you haven't heard any of them already, and that goes for every other song that was included in this video. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much all for watching, and I will see you guys next year for my super early Halloween video. Also, I had no clue what to really wear for a Suspiria style costume or where I would get one quickly, so here's some bonus recommendations of Weather People by Cage and Telephone Calls by A$AP Rocky featuring Tyler the Creator, Playboy Carti and Young Gleesh, which both sampled the main Suspiria theme by Goblin. Shout out to all my Patreon supporters on the screen right now, and an extra special shout out to my biggest supporters there, Big Daddy Foe, David, I Am Region, iRunner, Jason Painter, Psycho Sam Productions, and Archie99. Thank you for the support guys, and thank you to everyone watching this video.